In today's video, we're going to be talking about some forgotten fragrances. If you're interested, then just keep watching. Hi, my name is Ayesha from simplyayesha.com. Here on YouTube, I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So as I said, in today's video, we will be talking about some forgotten fragrances. I have 5 fragrances to share with you here today. And just FYI, I will have a bonus one that I'll be sharing on my Instagram and TikTok. So make sure you follow me over there because I'm trying to give y'all some different content on different platforms. Anyway, though, the 5 fragrances I'm going to be sharing with you in this video are fragrances that were either popular at once, but now nobody talks about them, or maybe they were never popular, or they're older fragrance that I've either recently discovered or rediscovered that I have here to share with you today. For today's video, we do have a sponsor, and it is FragranceNet. Now, I know if you guys have been watching fragrance videos, you have probably heard of FragranceNet, but for those of you who have not, FragranceNet is a discounted website where you can get fragrance and beauty products. I typically shop there for fragrance. I've never purchased any beauty products there, but I do see they have great prices on beauty as well. The fragrances from FragranceNet are authentic, they have really good prices, and they always have coupons going on. I personally will have a coupon code that I will leave in the description box for you all that you should definitely use for additional savings. For those of you who have been watching my channel for a while, then you know that I have shopped FragranceNet for years. It was actually the first discounted website that I started shopping on. And recently I have noticed that they have been having some great deals, and they've been getting some newer fragrances in rather quickly. So make sure you check out FragranceNet, especially if you haven't been on their site in a long time. And all the fragrances I'm mentioning in today's video, they're all currently available on FragranceNet. Now, if something happens to sell out, you can always click that notify me button, put in your email address. That way you can get notified when it comes back in stock on their site. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into these fragrances. So the first fragrance that I have to share with you is from Carolina Herrera, and this is Bronze Tonka. So this fragrance has been on my wish list for probably 3+ years. And when I began talking with FragranceNet to do this collaboration, I started looking on their website to see what fragrance did I want to order from them. And I saw they had Bronze Tonka, and I knew it was finally time for me to make it mine, and I am so glad that I did. So this fragrance is newer to my collection, and when I first really started getting into fragrance YouTube videos, this was a popular one. A lot of people were talking about this. I remember Demi Rawling mentioning this, and at that point, that's when my interest became piqued. I had never tried any Carolina Herrera fragrances, and so it went on my wish list and just never came off. I've never seen these fragrances in person, so I was a little bit apprehensive to purchase one blindly. When I got this baby in and smelled it, I couldn't believe nobody's talking about it anymore. It smells amazing. So when I smell this fragrance, I get a sweet, kind of dark, almost leathery scent, but a very smooth leather. And I guess, y'all, I'm really getting into leather because I feel like a lot of fragrances I've picked up lately have a leather note, but they're all very, very smooth, nothing sharp. And this one fits into that category. So it's a very smooth leather, does not smell like car leather or anything like that. Very like high quality luxury leather. There's also a good amount of sweetness to this. There's a fluffiness to this as well. And it also kind of smells like there's a bit of a coffee note to this as well. So it gives me like a sweet, slightly spicy, but leathery, dark, deep scent. This is a sensual fragrance. When I sprayed this on my body, y'all, I could not get enough. I could not get enough. I smelled so good. I've worn this now about 3 times, and I will say I love it. I smell it on myself all day, but it is not like a beast mode projection type scent. So this fragrance to me is one of those like sensual date night fragrances. However, there's also this coziness to it. So I found that I was able to wear this to bed, and I just couldn't get enough of myself, y'all. I smelled amazing. I was gonna say delicious, but it doesn't really smell edible. It has some edible facets in it, but it's definitely not a full-on edible smelling scent. It is gorgeous. It also kind of smells like there is maybe a tiny bit of oud in here. Yeah, it kind of smells like there's a tiny bit of oud in this fragrance, but it's nothing overpowering. Everything in this fragrance is so smooth. And when I think about this fragrance, I just think about a smooth, fluffy texture. It is done so well. So happy to have this. And so if you have not tried Bronze Tonka, this may be one you want to get your nose on. The next fragrance I have to share is from Givenchy, and this is Pie. So this fragrance is very, very old. I believe this fragrance is marketed towards men, but I will tell you that back in the day when I was a kid, I think my mom had this fragrance and I took it from her, or maybe it was like I ordered it off eBay. I don't know, but there was this fragrance in my house at some point when I was a kid and I loved it. Maybe it was at that point when Givenchy started getting sold at like Walmart and stuff. Do y'all remember that? Those small bottles they would have at Walmart. Anyway, this is a blast from the past. I had not smelled this in ages, and something told me to pick it up not too long ago. So I've had this fragrance in my collection now for probably about 3 weeks or so, but I haven't had a chance to share it with you all. But y'all, this smells amazing, and it's so inexpensive right now. It is so inexpensive. So on paper, I will say you get more of that range of notes. So I'll tell you what it smells like on paper, and then I'll kind of tell you what it smells like on my skin. So on paper, I get kind of a fresh aromatic opening. So to me, it kind of smells like probably some sort of green notes and probably lavender. It kind of gives me that barbershop-y feel, and then it gives me some amber as well and some spice. So on paper, to me, it definitely smells more masculine. So with that being said, when I first got this in, I couldn't remember what it smelled like. I sprayed it on paper and I'm like, I don't really know if I'm feeling it. However, I tried it on my skin and immediate love. On my skin, I get a boatload of sweetness. I shouldn't say a boatload because it's not like it's sugary sweet, but there is this really warm sweetness to this fragrance. It brings out some other types of spices that kind of smell like maybe like cinnamon or something. And it gives me like a sweet kind of nutty vibe as well. Kind of smells like almond. However, on paper, I really don't get any of that. But on my skin, that comes out. And the aromatic nature to this fragrance is very minimal on my skin. So on my skin, this smelled like all woman. All woman. Well, it actually smelled unisex, but it definitely didn't smell masculine. It definitely, to me, leaned a little bit feminine on my skin. And that would explain why I was in my house when I was a kid, because we didn't have any men in my house growing up. Well, my brother, but he wasn't into cologne. He was wearing Axe body spray or whatever. Anyway, this smells so freaking good. It is sweater weather in a bottle. And I am so happy to have this back in my collection. Not only does it remind me of childhood, but it smells amazing. It's inexpensive, and I think it's perfect for this time of year. So this is one that I feel like I could spray to my heart's desire and not feel guilty about it. Comes in this huge bottle, which actually is really, really nice looking. And I've just really been enjoying this. So again, that is Givenchy Pie. This next fragrance is from Lalique, and this is Lalique Le Parfum. So this fragrance is pretty old. However, this is one of those fragrances that I purchased when I first really started getting heavy into my fragrance game. I've been into fragrances forever, but once I started like watching fragrance videos on YouTube and really wanted to try like off the wall brands or more niche brands, this fragrance was one of the first ones that I added to my collection. But I have to say, I don't wear it much and nobody seems to really talk about it anymore, but it's still really good. So this is a vanilla fragrance, but the vanilla in here is not edible. It is spicy. It's a little bit, almost like a tiny bit smoky, and there's definitely a greenness to this fragrance. To me, it smells like a bay leaf. Yeah, that's what it smells like, a bay leaf with vanilla. And also it kind of smells like there's a little bit of maybe nuttiness to this. So I'm assuming maybe there's tonka or maybe almond in this fragrance in addition to the vanilla. But overall, it gives me the vibes of Dior Hypnotic Poison, but way more green, way less sweet. So this fragrance I feel like is really good for like formal occasions or for going out, doing things. To me, this one doesn't really feel like one of those cuddly type vanillas. It smells more like elevated than that. And although I don't wear this one much, now that I've kind of like rediscovered it in my collection, I definitely will be wearing it some more. I actually wore this one probably maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I really enjoyed wearing it, but I was only able to wear it for a few hours because I was getting ready to take my shower. But y'all, it smells really good. It performs well. It's not a beast of a performer, but if you overspray this, you'll probably take over a room. So again, that is Lalique Le Parfum. This next fragrance is from Tom Ford, and this is Rose Prick. So overall, I feel like Tom Ford as a brand is no longer as popular as they were. And this fragrance in particular really embodies that. When this fragrance came out, I feel like so many people were talking about it. So many people were trying to get their nose on it. And I actually took a while to purchase this because I'm not a huge rose lover. But I will say now, I really don't feel like anybody talks about this. And the reason that I kind of rediscovered it recently is because AI the Great mentioned it on one of her videos. I don't know when it was, but she mentioned it on one of her videos, and I was like, I haven't worn that in a long time. So I pulled it out and wore it, and I was like, why have I been neglecting you? So Rose Prick is a gorgeous rose fragrance. This has 3 different types of roses in it, and they are said to represent the 3 types of roses that Tom Ford himself has in his garden. But this also has some Sichuan pepper and turmeric in here. You definitely get the rose in this fragrance, but you get some greenness, you get some earthiness. I feel like there's some patchouli in here, and none of it smells like a traditional rose. This is one you definitely should get your nose on. I found that most people that seem to really like this fragrance are either not huge rose lovers, or they just have a variety of types of fragrances that they love. But the people that seem to not like this are people that like traditional rose fragrances. So if you would like to try this, you should get your nose on it, spray it on skin. It definitely smells better on skin than in the bottle. And for me, it's a unique take on a rose. It's spicy, it's a little sweet, it's a little bit green, it's a little bit earthy, and it's beautiful, perfect for year-round use. I actually wore this more when I worked because I feel like it's kind of a work scent. I mean, it doesn't have to be. You can definitely wear this on a date night, but for some reason, I associated it with going to work. So now that I have rediscovered this in my collection, I do plan on wearing this more, especially in this fall and upcoming winter. So again, that is Tom Ford Rose Prick. This last fragrance that I have to share with you, you're probably gonna be surprised that I have never ever owned this fragrance, but this is the first fragrance that I remember like smelling in a mall and really wanting it and couldn't afford it. And so I never got it. And as I got older, I just kind of forgot about it. And I recently smelled it and knew I had to have it. It was love again at first sniff. I don't know what took me so long. So this is Dior Addict. Can y'all believe this? This is such an iconic fragrance. And it was really popular on YouTube probably about 3 years ago. I feel like a lot of the ladies on YouTube were talking about this fragrance, and I still never even went to go smell it. Even though they sell it pretty much everywhere around me, I never went and got my nose on this again. And recently I was able to get my nose on this in store and immediately came home and ordered it, y'all. It is so good. So this is actually my fragrance for the day. At first sniff, this fragrance smells like a very sophisticated vanilla. So the vanilla is there, but it's a perfumey vanilla. It's a formal vanilla. It's sweet, but it's also spicy. It's also florals in the background. And I also feel like there's something maybe slightly nutty in this fragrance. I actually find this fragrance kind of hard to describe. And I remember when I tried it on in store like last week, I sprayed my hand and immediately put my nose to it and knew I needed to have it. And then I kept smelling my hand while I was out and about, and I just could not get enough. Even though I find this kind of difficult to explain, it smells amazing. If you have not gotten your nose on this, get your nose on it. I feel like most of y'all probably have this in your collection, but like I said, I don't hear people talking about it anymore. So pull it out. Any of these fragrances. I'm not saying you need to go out and buy these fragrances. I'm just saying that these are fragrances we've kind of forgotten about in this internet fragrance world. And if you haven't tried them, get your nose on them. If you have tried them and you have them in your collection, pull them out, girl. So anyway, I didn't do a great job of explaining Dior Addict, but it's good, y'all. A spicy vanilla with some floral notes to it, a little bit of greenness to it. Very kind of formal, but also a little bit cozy, and it's just doing all the things. It's doing all the things, and I don't know what took me so long. So again, that is Dior Addict. So those were the forgotten fragrances that I wanted to share with you all. Don't forget, if you want one extra bonus one, make sure you're following me on my TikTok and my Instagram, because I will be putting something up over there for them. I will have those links down below as always. Also, don't forget to check the description box for links to all of the fragrances that I mentioned, along with my discount code for FragranceNet. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I typically upload videos every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I have tons of content you can check out on your free time. Also, check out my website. It's www.simplyayesha.com. Over there, I do talk about fragrance, but also about other things that I'm enjoying. If you want to connect with me more, follow me on Instagram. I'm typically in my stories and my DMs every day. And don't forget, follow me on TikTok as well. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.